Hey guys, I've been sent a game to review. Apparently it's got some interesting tactics in it. And this is by Michiel 6969 from the Netherlands playing somebody from Iran. Okay, so we're going to go in blind. I haven't looked at this game. And we have a normal King's Pawn opening. And the Philidor. Aha, okay. So, first issue, of course, with this is that it's blocking in that bishop. But this, it's one way to defend this pawn, other than knight c6. So, d4 by white, immediately striking out for the centre. And we have takes. There are two ways to recapture. Queen captures does threaten the g7 pawn, which means that this bishop is tied down to it, but it also just invites black to play his knight out to c6, kick the queen back like a kind of Scandinavian. Okay, so we have knight takes. So now if the knight comes out, we don't have to worry, because the knight takes, queen takes, and we have a lead in development, yeah? So knight to f6, knight to c3, okay, defends the pawn. Obviously the knight's attacking this pawn, we're now defending it once. And h6. So h6 is preventing this bishop from coming out here, pinning the knight against the queen. However, it does feel slow. Because the thing is, what we have to say is, look, if the bishop comes out and pins the knight, develop the bishop and unpin and get ready to castle, right? Surely that's better than moving a pawn on the king side, which could be an important king defender later on in the game. I don't know. I probably wouldn't have played that move myself. Okay, so now white takes the opportunity to develop. So the light square bishop flies out to the Italian position on c4, looking down on f7 already. White is now ready to castle. White has 3 pieces out in the board compared to black's 1 piece out in the board. So that's what I see from this. Oh! This is very slow play. I mean, is black thinking about playing b5? But then, the bishop could drop back here. Bishop could even go there and attack the rook. Force the knight to take. Knight takes. We've then got 2 knights in the centre. And black's got no development. What is this? This is not how we use pawns in the opening, boys and girls. Okay, white castles. So now, bom, bom, bom. Ping, ping, 5 development points. If each minor piece or each piece off the back rank is worth 1 point in development and castling is worth 2, we are now 5-1. And black is looking dubious already. Okay, and now right, black, you have played 7 moves, right? And 4 of them, no. 6 of them have been pawn moves, right? Because we've had a pawn capture. So he's still only developed, obviously, 1 piece, the knight out here. Every other move has been a pawn move. Not good. What would we expect here? I mean, that's an option. That's an option. That's also an option. Just over-defend this pawn and look down, maybe down there. So white plays bishop b3. Okay, this is probably the most aggressive. It's keeping the bishop's BDI on the f7 pawn, like that. What? Okay, so, okay, right. So this is attempted trap on the bish, yeah? So that's the idea. If the knight just moves away, this traps the bishop. But black is still well behind in development. Okay, so I apologise, black, I can see what you were trying to do. However, I think that one of these knights is probably going to take that pawn. Takes, knight takes. But no. Is this clever? Is this good? But if now knight takes, we've got 2 knights under attack. So knight takes, we lose. Okay, so bishop e3 is a mistake. Okay, now in the comments that Michiel sent to me, why is this a mistake? Well, it's a mistake because we have this move with tempo, right? It attacks a piece, and if the piece moves away, we have the trap. Okay, so I shouldn't have said that that was an option. This was an option, that was an option. Okay, this one obviously turns out to be a mistake. Okay, I get it. Now, I still think here, taking 2 pawns for a minor piece would make perfect sense. You maintain the bishop there. This move is a counterattack on the rook, but after knight takes, which I expect, yeah, okay, then we've got a problem. Knight takes, and then c takes, right? So we are down a full piece, which was unnecessary, because here, this is equal. We wouldn't have been down a full piece. We'd have got 2 pawns for our trouble. Okay, so maybe inaccuracy at least there. All right, so we attack, knight takes, and we're down a piece. We are going to get 1 pawn back. Okay, but I would stop here and evaluate. White did not stop and evaluate. White actually spent 30 seconds on the previous move and then 0.1 seconds, and we've pre-moved probably that. Okay, so we are in an interesting situation. Black is up a bishop for a pawn, yet has no development at all. And the reason he's got no development at all is because he spent all his time pushing his pawns up the board. He also has fragmented pawns, okay? 3 pawn islands. One of these guys is isolated on the d file. On the other hand, white has a castled king, right? Has 2 pawn islands. Okay, let's colour that one in blue, right? And has some development. So, what's more, this bishop is pinned to the defense of this pawn, because if this pawn moves, then we take the rook. Okay, so which side would you like to take in this scenario? Notice we also have the option of knight here, with a fork on rook and bishop, which could be interesting. There, rook moves, takes, queen takes, deflecting the queen. I don't know. No obvious ideas there. Okay, so it's black to move. Black moves the knight out, hitting the queen. Queen just slides back to d3. Okay, so black, the pawn addict, is looks like he wants to fianchetto his bishop, put his bishop here, and tie this bishop down to a defensive role. But it's another pawn move, dude. This is nice. This is nice. I mean, it's just begging for it, really. So not only are we now attacking the rook, but we're also preventing bishop there. Okay, and that just makes this pawn move look stupid. So knight blocks. I'm expecting f4. I think f4 now surely wins material, yeah? f4, hit the knight, knight moves, bang. You've lost your rook. f4, good, well played. And now we... Oh! Don't even take the loose knight. 25 seconds of thought, and this, guys, is why you need to think when you play chess. Okay, the obvious move here is pawn takes knight, right? But white found a better move. So get into the habit whenever you're playing. Yeah, when you find a good move, look for a better one, right? When you think you found the right move, force yourself to think, to consider one other option. Just look at the board and say, is there anything else? And if you get into that habit, you will get better at chess, promise you. Now, this is lovely. Defended by the knight, fork on king and rook. So we're going to win even more material. Now, is there an issue that if the king moves here, we take the rook, the king now defends the bishop, but the knight still falls? That's really the issue here. Okay, so what happens? King moves to f8, defending the bishop. We grab the thingy now, but no, the knight doesn't fall because the knight can now move. So was it brilliant? Was it brilliant? We shall see. So knight now moves here, and now it's the queen that's under attack. So, interesting, white is now up an exchange, having won the rook, right? So we've gone from being a minor piece down, get the rook, we're now up the exchange, but this knight, it has to be said, is pretty vulnerable because bishop here and the knight's got nowhere to go. Okay, Morgan, that's not helping. No, it's not, right? Okay, so queen gets out the way of the bishop. Bishop here attacks, the knight. So now the knight should fall. And we find ourselves in a very interesting position. White also agrees because White's now spent 1:19 on his next move. So, I don't know what the next move is, so I'm going to have a think about what would I play here. One option is definitely just to go for the throat and go for this, because the pawn can't retake. Yeah, I'd probably surrender the knight, because there's no way to save it that I can see. Yeah, I think I would do that. Also opens up line for this bishop. Okay, so rook b1. Okay, it does open up the possibility of a rook fork at some point. You've got both rooks 5 squares apart, same colour. So what's the idea here? Let's find out. Black snatches the free stuff, obviously. Now we attack the knight. The knight has 1 square, 2 squares where it can go. Okay. But in a way, what we're saying is, okay, this is black's most active piece. Although we have 2 kind of fianchettoed bishops. And we have to keep an eye out for them. But this is your most active piece. I'm going to drive it backwards. Okay, and now material is numerically equal, but white still has a safer king. So I'm still thinking this. I'm liking this move. There's a possibility to trade off here. Even bishop a3 pins that pawn and then attacks it twice as well. That's a thought. Okay, now white plays e5. Blocking that. Oh, this is good because the queen's actually undefended. So this pawn is technically pinned, right? So the pawn can't take here. That's not on. So it's a thought. And then we've got maybe queen takes here, that should force an exchange of queens. Very advanced pawn there. Bishop out, defend it. That's a possibility. King advances. What? Okay. What? How long did you think about that? 25 seconds. So pawn takes. King can't take. Queen can. But then we've got rook e1 check. Bishop can't block. Oh, I don't know what's going to happen. Pawn takes, yeah, queen takes. Oh. Now then, white just spent 2 minutes 52 seconds on this move. And the first thing you see is, oh look, a pin, right? On the queen. But then the bishop is undefended. So queen takes a3. But if queen takes a3, what is white's plan? What is white got up his sleeve? Queen takes a3, rook e1 check. So if queen's here, that means this whole file is out. Rook e1 check means this whole file is out. So the king's going to have to go there or there. And we've got a queen and we've got a rook. So I'm trying to figure out, trying to second guess white's plan here. We've got 2 rooks as well. You could even bring that rook over. Okay, so puzzle time. Pause it. You try and figure it out. So we do see queen takes bishop. So let's make life slightly easier. Okay, that's the first move. What happens next? Okay, no, queen can't go there or there. I'm thinking one of the rooks is going to come here. Like in puzzle mode, we're looking at checks, captures, the most forcing moves. Queen here is also an option, which again will force the king onto there because he's not going to put his king on an open file, right? So I don't know. There's a few options. So okay, what we have next is rook b to e1. king indeed comes to f6, right, like we said, because the king on the back rank, I mean, that's just asking for the queen to come flying it. Ouch. Flying in. And how do we finish from here? That's out, 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 out. The king only has one square to go to. So g4 is a possibility. g4 now. We have checks with the queen. That's not on, that's not available, that's not available. Okay, so next, queen d4. And yeah, the king is forced to his only square. But then, is that played? King can't take there. King can go here, can't go there. Currently can't go anywhere here or there. So, I mean, g4 is a very forcing move now. But what we have next is rook e5 check. So there's only two options. Bishop takes, in which case it's almost a mate, or king g4. Bishop takes, queen takes, one move, only one legal move, there. h3 check, there. Now what? Queen e1? Yep, queen e1 check. King up there. g4? g4 is checkmate. So are you telling me, White, that you figured out this bishop sacrifice, forcing the queen capture, and then a forced mating sequence 7 moves ahead from this position? Yeah, rated 1492. Well, if so, sir, I take off my hat. Okay, so now we give check, okay? Let's say with this, like we saw. Now, this isn't an option because actually queen there is an instant checkmate, isn't it? Okay, so after rook here, we figured out this is actually the only move, which is what we see. Then, yes, check leaves only one move. Then another check here. This would, I mean, it would be mate pretty quickly. You'd have to give another check. Then the king comes here or here. Then queen there, I think is probably mate. So bishop takes, queen takes, leaves again only one option. King there, which is what we see. Check. Now there's two options, but they're pretty much similar. And this, and then queen e1. So what's good about queen e1 here is, because we can't play g3 straight away because king takes there, but this forces the king back here. And then a lovely checkmate. Well, so if you did that, then fair play to you. That is awesome playing. Okay, so now let's have a quick check on the, whoa, on the analysis, because this, to me, this is a bit like an ECG. So white gets a slight advantage, but then blunders. Okay, so we'll see that, okay? So normal kind of Philidor. D4 is book, takes, book. Okay, so this is a little bit like an open Sicilian kind of pattern, yeah? Where you've got your king's pawn and your knight out here, and we've had c takes, knight takes, yeah? Okay, knight attacks the thing, defends, and this is inaccurate. Okay, like we said, it just looked slow. This overlooks an opportunity to develop a piece. Yeah, that's exactly what I said, right? Just develop. Developing is good, everybody. So, you know, yes, I know in general, there is also a general rule to say we don't want to use a piece to do a job that a pawn could do, but it depends on the pawn, right? This pawn is important. It's there to protect the king. And I don't think black's king ever got castled in the game, okay? Okay, so we have this, which is poor. This is okay, good. A better move would have been the other bishop. Marginally better, but we have that. Then the pawn comes out. Castles is okay. This, and now blunder. Okay. So we learn from this, right? Yes, we know under normal circumstances, c5, we've got time to play a3 and get a retreat. Okay. However, if this comes with an attack against a piece, we ain't got time. Great move, only good move. Black found it. Okay. Again, inaccuracy. So I'm thinking knight takes b5. The computer said, oh. Oh, yes. No. What? Knight f5 is best. Okay, but we've got knight and queen attacking that, but it's also defended twice. So what's the idea? So let's see the line. Knight there. I attack your... Go figure. I don't know. I wouldn't have calculated that, I don't think. But hey, so it didn't like this idea of trading the minor piece for 2 pawns. Okay, this is inaccurate, but it's not the end of the world. Again, you could have recaptured a better way. So what is the computer saying? Pawn takes? Pawn takes opens up the whole e-file, leaving that king standing there with his knees knocking together. So it doesn't like that. Best move is, yeah, pawn takes. Really exposing that king. Okay. But still it fancies black here. C takes d4 is a great move. The only move. Best move. Okay. And now the computer says that black is totally winning. And that's because black's got the material advantage, right? He's got a piece for a pawn. But at this point in time, you know, real world chess is very different to computer chess. So knight here is best. Queen retreat is excellent. And that's a blunder. Yeah, as we saw. Because that is a great move. And suddenly white is +4. Suddenly, it all changes. Everything changes on this one move. Okay? Black here goes from 2.8 to to 4 to white with that simple thing. Just didn't think it through. Okay? He thought, I can play this, I can play that. Well, no, you can't, because I'm doing that. And what's more, we're attacking this knight. So that is just a case of, I mean, it's not that easy to spot. But if you go, okay, if I do this, what is the worst that my opponent can do? And what you go is, well, what's undefended? That's undefended. These are all okay. Everything else is defended. Okay? So if I play this, oh, and then you see it. Hitting 2 undefended pieces. Okay, knight here is best move. Yep. F4 is a mistake. There was an opportunity to fork pieces. Well, well, well. How? I mean, what? Oh. Okay, so what we end up with actually is a different move order. So we hit the knight, then that is best, and then comes... What? Now he's saying... Well, come on, right. Come on. What is that? There isn't another fork, is there? Okay, so it's saying white should have played it then, but not on the next move. Go figure. Okay, so we do this, bishop goes there, and now we fork, and now it says it's a mistake, you should have captured the stupid knight. Because of this? Because if knight f3 check, queen must capture, we take the knight. So we've won no material that way. But here, we should capture the knight. Since the bishop moved here, right, here's the difference. Bishop moves here, suddenly there's a discovery on. Not against that square, obviously, but against the queen, right? So now, after this move, this is a very real threat. because it hits the queen. But even, I mean, there's a knight could move anywhere else with a threat against the queen. Or here, yeah, and it comes with check, so even queen takes bishop isn't an option. Okay, I get it. You see the difference between move order can be so vital. Okay, we play that now, and it looks like a mistake. That's the best move. Now we get the rook, but now the knight gets out of the way and a discovered attack on the queen. So this should have been. This is now an equal position. Should have been completely winning for white, and now we are on level terms, equal terms. Yeah. Okay, so the knight's going to fall. That's an inaccuracy. Gives away free material. What would be best? Okay. So what? Like if bishop takes the knight, we take, pawn recaptures. We still can't take the bishop. Show me. No, don't get it. It's just a computer being computerish. Okay, so bishop takes e8 is an inaccuracy. There was a better way. Probably queen takes, yeah? Okay, queen takes now, getting both of them on this diagonal. Kind of makes sense. Okay, and now hitting the knight is the only good move. Right, well done. Knight retreats. Also an accuracy. Says you want to connect your rooks at this point, so was bishop a3? Because I think I suggested bishop a3, yeah? Oh no, okay. So hitting the knight, slightly better. Okay, well, I kind of like putting the bishop here and pitting this pawn, but hey. Okay, and now king e7 after this is a blunder. Because of that, yes. And then it falls apart, so now bishop a3 is brilliant. Truly amazing move. So it gives you brilliant when you find a move that is really not obvious at all, because it seems to have drawbacks. Queen a3 is a blunder. Rook b to e1 check is best. That's a mistake. Best move would have been... Well, I don't see how that's really going to save your life. Okay, so here we have forced mate in 6. The alternative is plus 7.86 for white. But anyway, so king goes here, queen goes here, check. Brilliant move again. With forced mate in 4. Well, I'll tell you what, mate, yeah. Like I say, if you've seen that, boom, then fair play to you. I take off my hat. But all very interesting. And you can see, guys, I say it all the time, the analysis of any game, any of your games, just make sure you do the analysis, because I've learned from analysing this game, yeah? You can learn from any game, but particularly most when they are around your own level as well. So hope that's inspired you to hit that game report or analysis button on every single one of your games, because really, I mean, that's where you do your workout. That's where you improve, right? You don't improve by just playing and playing and playing. Well, you do, but it'll be slow, right? If you just play, if you just play, then you're practicing what you know over and over again, right? Maybe if you force yourself, like I say, to consider alternative moves on every turn, yes, that is a great way to improve. But the computer is here to help you. Do not let it be your master, right? Make it, you have to be the master of the computer. So you say, all right, computer, now you can help me. Help me out here, yeah? And show me, using your computer power, but lack of appreciation of all the other finer things in life, right? Show me how I could be better as a human being. And it will. It has to do what you tell it, okay? So use it. Use the machine. Analyze your games. Best way to improve. Because, tell you what, I'm getting better by doing this. So you will too. Okay? Thanks for watching. See you later.